Here on Twitch and lichess. I'm International Master William Paschall, otherwise known as Sparkle Horse on lichess and Slaggy on Twitch. Thanks for following. We're going to get underway in just a minute with a 20-player simul, 40-40 time control, with 20 extra minutes for moi. Standard chess, only random colors. I had a really long tournament game this morning where I was lucky not to lose and kind of got tortured for 75 moves or so. I thought I turned my volume down on my other machine, but apparently not. Always good to hear yourself. Just make sure you sound good. Revenge is upon us. Man, I made the really bad coffee. Not that bad. It needs more sugar or something. Maybe I didn't put enough sugar, but I had a funny thing happen. When I made my coffee, I poured it in a glass mug, and it broke the glass. The heat from the coffee actually just broke the glass, started leaking everywhere. Really high quality tempered glass there. But anyway, we're going to get started. I'm going to open the registration for the simul, and let's, without further ado. Alright, it's been a tough day. I got tortured for 75 moves in my tournament game with black. I wasn't really in the mood for that today, but it's a team game and I didn't want to lose, so I played kind of passively. And I'm not happy about it, but at least I managed to avoid losing. Alright guys, I think I'm going to have to max it out at 22 players, because we always lose a couple of people. If you want to play, make sure you get in there quickly. Don't stall too much, because there's usually a lot of players before we start. They know I'm streaming. They're gonna be ready to play. A couple of guys in the chat, I want to make sure you got in there. It's a band. The lead singer took his life after producing some decent music. Talking about Sparkle Horse. So, who didn't get in? Arsenal fan Richie, are you gonna play? Yeah, there you are. All right. Favoritism to the guys talking in the stream channel here. What can I say? Blue Crow, are you playing tonight? Yeah. All right, a little bit of favoritism. I think we favored all the chatters. 65th square. I might have to open the window here because actually, I recognize pretty much all the players. I don't like to accept people who don't have enough, established games. I think we're gonna have to. Houdini is okay. I think we're gonna have to quickly accept everybody, and then we'll stop the entries and basically. I'm gonna have to limit it at this many players. No more entries at 23. And I'm gonna just make sure we didn't get anybody who's doesn't have an established rating for 50 games. X63, I can't accept you. You have just 11 games. I would like to play, dude, but I can't accept people with less than 50 rated games. That's the rule I go by here. So Varun Chess, I think was established 13 games. Varun Chess, I also can't accept. It's not enough games. Yukovisky, same thing. Alright, I think we're short one player. Everybody else has established, except for Ali. I don't know about this. He has enough games. Alright, just barely enough. That's what I'm looking for, 50 games basically, guys. Tapaye. Alright, Tapaye makes us 21. I'm sorry, the other guys don't have enough games to really accept. Ali, I recognize everybody else, or else you're just barely over the 50 game threshold. I think we lost somebody now. Who did we lose, unregistering at the last second there? Mig Chess. Italiano. Alright, we're going to get started in a minute. Sorry, provisional guys. Walia, that's you. X629. Alright. You played under another account. And I need one more player, so let's get started. 22 players. I'm going to open the window here. It's really no air in the room, and I just blinded myself. I think I just burned my retina with an extremely blinding sunbeam into my eyes directly. Antu Johnson, don't start this before the game even starts. He's got disconnection. So 22 players is the maximum I can do today. I did it. I burned my eyes again. It's going to take like half an hour for this to go away. I opened the window like this much, and a sunbeam like directly went in my retina. It's really awesome. Feels good. I have like this weird, like looking into the sun. It's very good for your eyes. Slide Dog. The stream goes dead, then we know that your computer has melted. It's not a problem with the computer, it's just with my eyes. You know what? I'm not even going to pay attention to who I'm playing which move against. I'm just going to play all my opening moves. One day I should just play without even thinking about who I'm playing against. You know, just ignore the names altogether. I've never done that here during a stream. Because I tend to know a little bit about most of the players that I'm facing, because I've played them before. I do a weekly Blitzen classical stream, most Monday through Fridays, and so a lot of you guys, most of you guys, I know a bit about. But it would be interesting to play without even looking at the names and see how my results do. I would think I'd do better if I try to play specific openings against specific opponents. No, it was funny because right before the stream happened like an hour ago, I did the same thing with the window before. I looked out exactly the same thing. Blinded my eye. It's hard to believe that could happen at the same angle 2 times, an hour apart. I had this like bright thing flashing in my eyes for an hour or so. All right, Karo Khan. I don't want to waste too much time here in openings. I really tend to get in trouble. Deep Wolverine, let's play a d4, d5. I rarely play d4, d5, but I have this feeling that I need to kind of mix it up a little bit. Things get kind of boring. You guys are going to hear the birds chirping outside. There's every kind of annoyance. Ambulances, birds, construction. Just if I open the window like the smallest, tiniest crack, you know. The birds, I live on the top floor, so we have like birds living on the roof, you know. And they're not pigeons. We have pigeons too. In case you haven't noticed, I'm just kind of talking. I'm a little bit tired today, guys. I played a 75 move game, about 5.5 hours. And a NAS, I get black, great. All right, Mexican, no. What's an interesting idea? Blaze of Glory, can you join, please? There's no way to late join. I suggest everybody send a message to the administrators of lichess and demand that they make it possible to allow for late joining simultaneous exhibitions. There's really absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be allowed. I really should have played the Dutch in one game today. Just play faster. Play like it's a blitz game. I always put too much stress on myself and like basically really try to think about which opening to play against specific opponents. But it's really taking it a little bit far. I mean, you know, it's a fairly fast simul. Okay, Slide Dog plays the O'Kelly variation. Blue Crow with the Trompowsky. My favorite. I love playing against the Trompowsky nowadays. So I'm a little bit out of it, guys. I mean, I played a really, really long game. And that's the first game I think in the last first game that I can remember that went the full time control I've played in a long time. That like both sides used all their time right until the end. Took almost 5.5 hours. And an ass plays knight f3. Now, I have to play e6. Alright. Caro-Kann. Caro-Kann. I guess you would immediately know when it was you on the stream watching it after. Blocking the name specifically for the simuls. I mean, I know people who, you know, because they've had problems like getting, like, say, intimidated by higher rated players and stuff like that. I've known people and recommended to people, like, in tournament situations, to actually not write down the name or rating of their opponent. You know, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for that. Andrea Peroni plays the center attack. Alright, I don't want to get in my proverbial time pressure. So it's the Petrov. Move 11. I was just talking about this with somebody. That's so strange that you played that move, you know? It's not good, but a lot of people don't understand why it's not good. I always wanted to make it work for white as well. Houdini 90 is a player I don't think I've played before. I hope it's not like literally Houdini, the computer program. I always thought I would be, my name, Houdini would be a good name for me because it's not really a good name for a computer, you know? I mean, Houdini should be a player who, like, he escapes from lost positions, you know? I mean, it's weird that they made this computer's name Houdini. Definitely better for a human being who's, like, good at getting out of bad positions, like myself. Slide dog d6. You'll transform transformers. You're gonna transform the position to some kind of like d6, c3 Sicilian with d6, with a6. That's a little weird. All right. Anyway. Time pressure is my greatest enemy. Typically in the simul, on the simul front. So Houdini's name is exactly taken the fact that he was able to escape with draws in tight positions. I'm sure that wasn't in its results in the. Not based on its results against humans, basically. Aura Knight. Alright, the Alekhine's defense. Alukin. How correctly do we want to try to pronounce it? Constant change. What is going on here? Wait a second. Knight takes e4, knight takes e5. You're supposed to play bishop d3. Have we been here before already? d6, knight takes f7. I feel like I've been here already against somebody. It's like here. Alright, anyway, constant change, that's not a typical variation. Soltigo, what are you doing? What are we doing? Knight c6, losing a pawn? Wow, that's pretty extreme. Got some very strange interpretations of the Petrov here today. Alright. B6. It's a hedgehog slash hippopotamus. Anto Johnson. Alright. standard English. Welcome everyone for the stream here today. To the stream, I should say. Guys, we have a Blitz and Classical stream that I usually do Monday to Friday. It's a Petrosian King's Indian by a very strange order of moves. Or it's not. Feigl Igor might play. He might play c5 or something like that. What about knight h5 here? Getting really funky. Oh man, I mean, I don't know. Knight h5 right away. And then if g3, like bishop e7, it's really risky for black. Oh, screw it. Queen's Gambit declined. You guys don't see me often playing the Queen's Gambit declined. Here it is. You won't see it again soon. The Queen h5. Laszlo Mihok, father of Grandmaster. Played this against me recently, Pukro. Took him out in a nice game. Alright. Tougher guy. It's a King's Indian. So here's the secret position. Like, even Grandmaster Solskis played e4. I think e4 is not that good because black can play c6 and turn it into a kind of Gambit Panov, like, sort of thing. The move is d4. And here again, we had this recently. CD. I had this game with Attila Turzo 20 years ago. Speaking of Attila Turzo, I had a5 against him in a tournament game. He's got all the Turzo positions here today. I played a5 against Turzo Attila in the Hungarian Team Championship the other day, but it seems like it's probably not necessary to play a5. Alright, so the Turzo. Here we have a lot of choices. We could play d5, we could play h3, just hanging out. Actually, h3 knight, f6, kind of bothersome. I mean, I don't know, d5. Let's just call his bluff there. e4, it's a Botvinnik system. Aldi Stowe, that's reasonable. Not as popular as other moves, but I think it's fine, of course. Alright, so how do we want to play? Kaidanov style. I lost with white against Kaidanov in this. Actually, I lost every time I played Kaidanov. He's like the only American Grandmaster who... He only beat me twice, but it was every time. Every two times he beat me. Alright, Queen d2. And we're going for counterplay on the queen side, right? Right. And then we're playing the white side of the Queen's Gambit against Houdini. It's, the Danish Gambit. Oh, no. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll take it. Trying not to waste too much time here. Why do people play chess? That's a good question. Why do we wake up in the morning and breathe, you know? Alright. Yeah, introduction to banning. It's not a bannable offense, but it's usually the preface for something bad is going to happen. Alright. Now this position is interesting. So c4 here. And here, you're not supposed to take on d5. x6, 2, 3, 9. That's a very serious offense in the hillbilly variation. Oh, it's e3. In the Danish Queen e7 is interesting. That's very possible, but not a move I would make without without having a clue what I'm doing. Yeah, so here I thought we just transfer to some sort of Benoni type position. I had a very similar game the other day. Make chess. Should I take on f3? Kind of makes sense. Then again, I could play bishop h5. But it's a simul or simul, depending on where you come from. So Andre Perugni just took back on c3. That, you know, that wasn't the main line. I mean, you're supposed to play like bishop c4. I mean, I'm sure knight c3 is a classic as well. All right. He's basically playing the We'd have some sort of aggressive intentions here with h3. Castles. I'm thinking maybe I can always play c6 or something. Take advantage of the fact that I'm not castled yet with black. All right. Don't think too long on any one move. Probably good practical advice to follow here. Bishop d7. Supposed to play f5 first? Now I can't remember. I think so. f5. There are other moves, most likely. We'll play the reverse of my game with Kaidanov. Bishop e7. I never lose to Kaidanov because of the opening. I lost later. Okay, so knight to c3 here doesn't seem very dangerous necessarily. Houdini. Mainline Tartakover Queen's Gambit there. This is a weird variation of Alekhine. Something we had very similar the other day. Internet chess playing basically like he's black against the Catalan. What should I do? Sled Dog plays bishop g4. He's kind of a tempo down in a Benoni there, it seems like. Super Sebi, I don't remember if we've played that before. Knight h3 here. Interesting. And d4. Guys, on my YouTube channel, I didn't put up a new video this weekend, but recently I did a video series on the white side of the Tarrasch, Queen's Gambit. And I thought it was applicable to mention that now because got one game there that's exactly what it is. Aura Knight is not playing h4, h5, which is what is typically done in these kind of Caro-Kann positions. Make chess. Who's Make chess? It's a new opponent. Playing very directly. Alright. e5, it's mainline King's Indian. Got a little bit of everything from both colors here. I guess I have to defend this pawn now. And the Kaidanov maneuver. Alright. Constant change played knight back to f3. I guess we end up in a classic transposition of moves or something. Move 11, playing the Marshall, the so-called Marshall defense. Not an opening I highly recommend. Well, we've got 2 games like this. That's odd. I didn't even realize that was going on. And d5 from Ananas now. Boy, I don't remember what we're supposed to do now. Knight d8, I think. Knight d8 or knight b8, and knight e5 is probably even playable here. Knight e5 kind of makes some sense. I don't know what the theory is. I'm out of book. And then queen b6 was played by Franco. That's definitely a very forcing move. I had a game the other day that was kind of weird. I played knight b3, pawn takes pawn, knight back to d2. That's interesting. Knight back to d2, but he has bishop e6 there. I would think that's not so bad. Huh. Someone's challenging me now. We can't play blitz while we're doing the simul. I'm not into that level of multitasking. Oh man, this is crazy. Thinking outside the box has been called. CD, knight takes d4, bishop e3. Right? Grunfeld. I don't know what to do with tougher guy. He probably knows the theory. I mean, everybody knows the King's India. Tony Miles stunned everyone once by playing like knight h4. I remember knight h4 is a crazy move. King h1. It could really confuse the opponent. Let's try it, man. I've never played this. It'll probably go badly, but a world loser with the very fast bishop e3. That looks like a pretty annoying move, actually. Although, if I were to play knight c5, like, how are you going to protect that, actually? Yeah, we'll call his bluff. Alright, main line for me in that opening there. Bishop g4 getting outside the pawn chain. The Caro-Kann. Ooh, Ananas quickly captures on e5, position I've never played before. Andrea Peroni, we haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, there's a great tournament going on. Gashimov Memorial, check it out. Taking place in Azerbaijan at the moment. Azerbaijan. Can we defend f7 adequately here? I mean, it doesn't feel like black's done anything wrong. It's not the Evans gambit. And here I should play b4 straight away. Accurate move orders. Arsenal fan, Richie. Alright, sir. I guess I'm supposed to play d5. Pardon me. Now, we could take with the pawn in this position against Slide Dog, but that's a little anti-positional. And Anto Johnson, everybody's doing the same thing against me around here. Kind of strange, similar lines. I just realized against Deep Wolverine I was playing this e3 line, which isn't something I really know very well for black. I guess I'll just pretend it's like a Queen's Indian or something. Super Sebi. Mainline Fianchetto Grunfeld. Alright, now I'm out of book. You know, hopefully white is too. But I don't think we can do bishop c5 because of knight a4. Looks a little bit odd. Which is bad because we're going to have some issues, I would guess. On the other hand, he could have some issues too. You could play bishop d6, I guess. And knight b5 is alright. Strange position to get into. Having hallucinations, I could do something I couldn't hear. Alright. So knight f2. Ayesta playing a very aggressive setup against the Pirts. I didn't really expect that from the man. He's usually a very solid player. Queen c7. What is this, man? Queen b3. Another queen move. Wow. It's a lot of queen movage. Some kind of trick. I need to develop the rest of my pieces. Then again, we could just attack c4. g6. I'm going to go with development. Blue Crow plays the classic move. Laszlo Mihawk Sr. So Mihawk Laszlo played f4 against me, which is quite okay for white, I think. Maybe better. Poor me, Laszlo did not lose because of the opening. Alright. I don't know what I want to do here. Develop his queen for him. Does that really seem right? If I castle, then my king is kind of screwed up. I could play c5. Why not play c5? Get some counterplay. So the world loser played queen c2 now. And it looks like I don't want my knight kicked out. I don't have any kind of tactics. So I have to play a5 to secure Mr. Knight on c5. Senor Knight. Really sure what we're doing here. This is a strange situation. This is actually a close Sicilian. It can never hurt to get off the long diagonal, I guess. You can never go fast enough in these simul streams, really. It's not good to be slow. Rook e1 or bishop f4. Alright, Arsenal fan. I've never been a big believer in the Fianchetto variation of the Benoni, but that's not exactly what this is. This is actually a weird hippopotamus double Fianchetto King's Indian type of thing. Shouldn't really be that great for black. A lot of work for white to do, though. I don't know what I want to do here. So an original position for move 11. He's playing queen f5. This position has probably been reached. It looks a little bit dubious for black, but it's probably not that bad. Alright, and now in this game, is e5 an issue? Not really. I keep the bishop on c8 sometimes to stop knight h3, but the knight's already gone through h3. Now is white gonna castle queenside here or castle kingside? by the way. Maybe I play queen c7 and just kind of hang out and wait and see what he's going to do. Knight c3. Now h5 from Stratego. I've been corrected before. And the most interesting opening here, bishop e3. Okay, he traded on g6. I like to play bishop e6, but he's got his knight on e2 now. Knight on e2 not as aggressive as the knight placed on... Not as aggressive as the knight placed on f3, so... Wow, that's an interesting move I tried to make there. And against tougher guy. The Miles variation... I think it was Miles who did that. Okay, there are other guys who did knight h4. Miles also did king h1. He's starting knight takes d5 here, sort of. Yeah, we got to do g3. In this position, I've been here before. I don't really know exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I think bishop f5 is standard. Probably can do b6. All right. Castles. The word loser has to be careful. Like last move, I almost had knight takes e4, knight takes e4, knight takes e4, queen takes e4, bishop f5, queen f3 only move, e4, queen g3, bishop takes b2, rook somewhere, bishop check. It's pretty scary, dude. Your queen almost gets trapped in that line. No, I don't want to like walk into an attack here. I'm not castled yet, so I have some flexibility. Wojtaszek lost to Topalov. Was it a real, proper Tarrasch defense? Wojtaszek is a great player, but he still doesn't, like most people, doesn't have an easy time against the top 10 or 15 in the world. Here, I'm really eating a lot of time. Alright, I don't know, guys. I'm just going to make a random move there. 94 super sub, might be even better. Oh, the tricky move. The tricky move. Practically have to play e4 here. My bishop's getting trapped with c5. I don't really see how I could sack a piece. CD, c5, bishop takes c5, takes c5, c6 doesn't really look sound. You know, I mean, I'm lucky if I get three pawns for a piece there. a3. All right, now we try to set up some kind of normal position with maybe e5 here. Certainly playable. Sol T ego, Sol Tigo, f3. Change the structure. Ali 7474. This is one of our only new opponents. Don't know anything about him. I'm trying to play solidly, but I played f5 pretty early. I'm not sure it was actually necessary, although having played knight e8, it's probably fine. Don't want to waste too much time in this closed position. a4 from deep Wolverine. It's a pretty unusual setup. So constant change, like by some kind of totally bizarro move order, we're reaching like a standard position here. And h3 from Blue Crow. Blue Crow's d4 pawn looks a little tender. I'm going to have some questions about how to settle my king here. Bishop d7. Yeah, I guess we'll I don't know, this is a little odd. I'm going to have to castle queenside. I'm not sure how I should handle that situation exactly. My game with Kaidanov. I think Aldisto is playing like me. Alright, now the c4 pawn is loose. It's not the end of the world for white. I wonder if I should play king h8 or not. And where do I put my knight? Back on c7 or back to f6? Cold air is making me have some cough here. Sorry about that, peoples. Amlochik, what's up, guys? Sorry I don't have more time to commentate, but too many games at once. Difficult to not. I have time to commentate. I mean, I don't have time to answer really questions in the chat while I'm playing. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. No time to really answer chat questions like I would Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. No problem. Answering the chat questions. Is he threatening e5 here? I mean, is e5 just going to be a good move for white? I mean, if that's the case, then maybe I'll just play e5 myself. It's a little extreme. Kind of hard to believe it's not good, though. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's alright. Burning too much time on this. Alright, let's just do it. Do something. C5, Kasparov from Houdini. The Kasparov variation. Nobody ever plays that anymore, oddly enough. And an S materialistically grabbing this pawn. I would expect nothing less. Okay, this could get kind of interesting. And now, knight e6 or bishop d7? That's the golden question. What did Kaidanov do? He played knight e6 right away. Bishop d7 first. Can't really remember. Alright, so we didn't win any material here, and black's gone back with queen d8. So what exactly did we gain here? Some time? Time for development and threats and good stuff like that. d6 looks interesting. d6, queen takes d6, and just try to get something going, I guess. Bishop d4, bishop g7, and then rook e1. It's actually bishop d4, bishop g7, rook e1, castles, take, take, take. It's not so clear. d6. I'm not sure I get enough for that. This is some old Kasparov-Karpov stuff. So Constant Change, I guess Constant Change found his opening book. Transposing to the main line very suddenly, and now rook e1 is like the old-fashioned move. I think I'm supposed to sack a pawn in some lines here. F5 might even be possible, but that's a little maniacal. Frank Marshall style move. It's possible I lost to Constant Change, a very old game that I didn't remember in this. I could sack a pawn with castles, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes, bishop f5. Looks strangely familiar to me. And Aura Knight plays queen b3. Seems to be pawn hunting. And f4 from Internet Chess. Looks like a reversed opening of some kind. Internet Chess. So far, so good. White looks pretty solid there. Not really sure what I'm going to do. I mean, that's why maybe bishop f5 is a better plan for black. It's kind of hard to get rid of him here. Maybe I need to play e6 before he plays f5. So white played c3 here in this one. Now the question is, do I have any compensation? It looks like we might have some. Arsenal fan Richie backing off with knight e8. What is our plan in this position, really? To play like b4 on the queen side, expand in the center. I'm going to change plans there. Alright, now he's grabbing my A pawn, it looks like. If I play A6, he has B3, saving his material, remaining with a better structure. So I think it goes without saying that we take this pawn. And the G4. So I think now, he's not really threatening anything. Maybe knight G3 followed by a G5. I play C6 on the queen side. It's rather risky. If we take twice on E4 and play F5, doesn't work anymore. Sacking pieces doesn't work. H5 is interesting. Here we're just up a clear pawn, and I'm not going to waste too much time in this position. And it's a main line. Super Sebi stops my knight E5 ideas. Kasparov. Excuse me. I think I'm supposed to play bishop b5 at some point here. But the question is, how and when? And what do I do if he goes queen a5? Can't remember. It's been a long time. So bishop b5, yeah, I guess I'd have queen d2 there. Sure what my plan is in this position. Wait and see what black's gonna do. Have like a5 maybe. Alright, so if I play bishop g4, he's taking on b7 here. I think I need to play this. Seeking some kind of counterplay. Taking toward the center. And the blockade. Alright, now Antonio Johnson played bishop b4. I could play bishop d2, I guess. It's kind of passive. Feels passive. So we're going to avoid that. And then move 11 with the queen, the funky queen on f5. Looks doubtful, but still not so easy to prove. I can take advantage of that queen. I can take advantage of that queen on f5. How exactly is not obvious. With my b, I guess. Slide dog now. Alright, dude, I played rook a1. Then maybe we just say, alright, dude. I changed my mind. I was just kidding. Now, white has some weaknesses. He's not castle e2's backward. This pawn is a little bit tender. So it seems like we ought to have something going on around here. Compensazione for the sacrificed pawn. Anybody want to play d5 there? Now against Franco, this is my last chance to try to like get funky with d5, I guess. d6, I mean. I was just concerned that he can just ignore it. That's the like real problem. This is my last chance to do anything here. Queen b5 check, bishop d7. Bishop d4 I was looking at. Now it's bishop c5 actually. Wait a second. Maybe we have something for real here. Alright, this is really equal-ish. And here we're pretty solid, but still not that easy. What to do? Try to trade some pieces, maybe? I'm not sure it's the right idea. Now we go into blockade mode. Tougher guy would be better off in such structures with the c5 in. That's one important point. Could take on c3 actually. Speaking of taking on c3, that's weird. What are the chances of that? Knight g8, knight e7, knight c8, knight b6. There's an original maneuver. But knight h7. You know, we're going to play for f6 here. Break out by forcing h4. Try to keep it closed. Maybe trap his queen there. b3 now. Okay, where to put my knight in this position isn't that obvious. Guys, here are the birds, the nice little birdies. They're so sweet. And they wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning, earlier. Bishop a6 trading bishops. Isn't that stupid an idea for black here, actually? I'm just going to try to play more classically. Super Sebi, I had the same game against somebody the other day. I think I played king h1, which according to the computer is like an utter waste of time in the past. Now, we attacked the queen, and then what did we achieve, let's say? I don't know. We got him off of the center square. He didn't take my pawn on e4. I could play bishop b4 here. It's pretty funky. Then cd, bishop takes e1, d takes c. Probably not good. Knight b4, bishop takes. I think that's a line. Knight b4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes d3. I can't remember, so I'm just going to play quickly. Getting into time pressure. My knight on e8 needs to relocate quickly here. Maybe I should take on f4 at this point. It's actually makes some sense. Opening up my bishop on a long diagonal. Alright. Knight d5, anybody? I'll just play a solid move. And the a4. Maybe we should play bishop b5 first, followed by a4. It's not that clear. a3, b4. I don't want to waste too much time in this position where I'm just clear pawn up with no compensation. Yeah, now ironically, I was going to move my bishop back to e2. And not trading bishops here. Once against Vadim Milov, I did that. I traded his bad bishop on g7. It was One of the most moronic moves I've ever made in my life against the 2600 plus GM. When the guy has a bad bishop, you don't trade it off with bishop h6. Alright, knight d5, maybe blockading the queen side. We need a plan in that to try to play for a win, I guess. Can we trap the queen? I was thinking rook a8, queen takes b7, rook b8, followed by knight takes b2. Probably have better, but I have no time to calculate. Okay, Andrea Peroni dropping a pawn here. Andrea. We will not allow ourselves to get smoked on the clock today. This is like the Grunfeld game a little bit. Wow. h3. And why not? If bishop h5, g4, bishop g6. That's a lot of pawn weaknesses, huh? I could also play bishop e6. Let's do it. We go with f6 at some point, or f5 here. Probably a little bit risky. Maybe I should bide my time a little bit. Oh man, alright. f6, yeah, actually, screw it, it's a good move. e5. I'm taking, he's taking back. It's a position. I don't know, man. Do I want to do this? Do I want to change the structure back again? Maybe we go back and just play a closed position. Alright, I changed my mind. I think this is theory. I think this is theory here. I think I've lost this in Blitz once. Now bishop b5 almost traps his queen. Not quite though. Not quite. Alright guys, I'm going to start speeding it up. We've got an exchange on e5. This is book. Queen c7, I'm not sure about that move. From Houdini. Playing like Houdini. Knight f8. No. Huh? Okay. Closed position. Where I guess we still want to do a5, huh? Screw it. We'll do something active. Yeah, I mean, I think this is book. I swear this is somebody versus Sabo Christian. Sabo Christian Ilincic, Budapest 2007 or something. But maybe it's not the main line. I guess I could play f5. It's kind of risky. Alright, I vaguely remember doing this once before. f6, okay, so now you've got some kind of counterplay. Not really. b3. I think you should castle queenside, Ananas. Looks like a good time. Now can we trap a queen? No. No queen traps. Taking this pawn off. We got the blockade in place here. You could have considered bishop takes c3. Again, I think it's better when there's no d4 square for white. We're going to try to do the classic, the classico kingside attack here. I know that sounds strange if you look at the position, but stranger things have happened. Well, queen f6 now. The classic, another classic idea for me. Bishop f5 and develop. So we have this better structure, right? But if I take on c5, I lose a piece. That's the trick. Take queen a4. Maybe that's the move, queen a4 right away. Knight b6, this is theory. Yeah, probably. Knight b6 is kind of scary. Looks familiar to me. Walking right into knight b6 seems like a stupid idea. What's a simple thing to do? Yeah, I think that's bad. Wow, the maiden won. I love that. That's subtle. All right. We're taking now. My only enemy is the time. The time is always an issue. Queen c7, queen a5 perhaps. Bishop b7. Strange as it seems. Might be a good move. Alright. Wow, this is getting weird. He's got some stuff. Some sort of stuff here. Maybe bg5. Knight e5, knight a5. He has some compensation for real in this position. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Deep Wolverine 1330. What's your real rating? Alright, we've only played Deep Wolverine once. Not too many games. He's playing the uber solid type of formation here. Kind of scary. Why did I play b6 again? If I'm gonna play bg4, that seems kind of strange. Alright, whatever. No time. Here I thought I had a trick. No, he saw that I could do like c5, c4. I feel like black's got a pretty good game here. If I just castle. Slightly better structure in that one. Wow, black takes. Actually, I could take with the f pawn. I meant to say I could take with the d pawn. Alright. I thought I was going to blockade this one up on the right color complex. What's going on? Try to liquidate my way to a draw there. Here, rook a3 or trade rooks. a3, rook a2. Yeah, maybe we'll keep the rooks on the board there. Now I have f5 and e6, which looks like an immense amount of space to be getting. Rook fd8. Defending d5 indirectly. Quite the subtle little move. Alright. Now what? Structurally, we're a little better. And there's nothing really special going on here, it looks like. Looks strangely familiar to me. My knight really sucks. Recirculate it later. My bishop also sucks. This game could get very strange. Knight g3. Alright. Speaking of strange games, it's very hard to play these totally locked positions in semi-time pressure. Okay, now we got something going on, I hope. God, it's like losing by force, the most ridiculous way possible. I thought I made a move here. Apparently not. Now we have some ideas on the queen side. Speaking of queenside ideas, this is probably some kind of weird, fairly obscure book position. Just a little bit better for white, but nothing special, it looks like. Double. The rook on b8, I think, has finished its... It's lost its luster for value on b8 there. Take on f3 is pretty lame, but it's possible. Actually, white has some tactical problems, I think. Andrea, I thought you would go with like queen b5, attacking something there. And now for our next trick. It's crazy. All right, I can't do that. Now f4. Ooh, calling my bluff here. Bishop takes. Right, that makes some sense. I guess I don't have anything there. Alright, never mind. I was just kidding. The blockade. Alright, so he's trading the Vladimir bishop. What did we just talk about? He's got a little bit of stuff here. Not too much, though. Vadim took me out with a very nice exchange sacrifice later on in that game. It was pretty merciless. Take, c4. Queen takes. It doesn't work, man. We need more energy. He played g5. That's really mental. You're gonna win a pawn. Internet chess. Bishop b5. You're playing like the guy I lost to in my last GM tournament. Wow, dude. What did I do wrong here? Why am I completely screwed in this position? Take, f6. Kind of looks like my other game with colors reversed, just better for you. Knight b8. That's a sick move. It's got to be bad. Oh well, we only live once. That's a live bishop on h3, sort of. Yeah, maybe here we want to play an ending. Queen c7. Strange situation has arisen. Move 11, letting his queen just remain there. It's insanely dangerous. Wow. Knight e5. Is your queen not going to get trapped? Similar to the other game, as I said, this one. Bishop takes. Oh man, I just don't have enough time. That's what I played. I think I played your suggestion. The bad bishop. Oh, he sacrificed a piece. Alright. And there it is, knight g6. I didn't want to fix that pawn structure. So we're playing knight g2. Blockadovich. And now for our next trick. It's going to be hard to break white down here. Admittedly, maybe impossible would be another word that could happen. E5 is kind of risky. It's also kind of interesting what happened. Queen b6 check. All right, we're grabbing this guy. Hard for me to calculate that all the way out. And it's a a6 b5 idea. And we have b4. Not really sure. How did my time get so low? The $1,000,000 question. Alright, now I was going to play c5. I think that's okay here. It's Aldi Stowe. Constant change, moving the queen. Rook e8. h4 is mental. Wow, that is totally mental. All right. No. Not today, you don't. The peace sacrifice. All right. Right. Dude, you're not even using your time. 38 minutes. He sacked the piece now. It's got some strange sort of counterplay. '94. Carefully avoiding the aforementioned exchange. I feel like I've played this game already. Back to f5 again. Oh, why didn't I see that? All right. Pardon. All right, what do we want to do now? A4. I feel like Sebe Attila, my buddy. He's a master of chaotic positions, creating absolute randomness. Okay, Plukro, Bishop B5. Played like a true Trompowsky expert. But we are winning a clear pawn here, or not. Kind of looks like it. Actually, I can take on D4. My goodness, I can take on D4. Take on D7, take there. You have this piece sacrifice, which looks really brutal. So I'm not I'm not interested. Not interested in that. Take. We're into the D3 square. But we have a problem, Houston. That's complicated. Wow, he's got a defense with this sick move. Not really, right? We've got to be winning here. All right. Knight G5. You're not surprising anybody with that. Maybe I should kick it out while the kicking's good. Our time is just down to blitz chess here. All right. F5. Ooh, the white squares melt down if I do that. Or not. It's pretty shaky. Five takes, bishop takes, king takes, rook takes. don't really like it a whole lot, to be perfectly honest. Wow. Okay. Alright then. We'll play a different move. I was thinking of sacking the 2 pieces for a rook here. What do you guys think? Looks pretty good. And knight b5 with a monster attack for me. Bishop d6. Not real happy to see that. Are you kidding me? Oh, right. Of course. That's a pawn. You just took a pawn on d6. Nice. Queen d2. Oh man, this is blunderific. Great. Blunderiferous. Ooh, we're gonna have to find a move here, and fast, huh? Arsenal fan Richie and I using a lot of time. Alright, it's blitz. Blitz is blitz. H5 is possible. Looks a little weakening. Though he can play h5. If I don't play h5, he can play h5. So it's kind of maybe a good idea. Is it really necessary to play that? Come on. All right, 9 minutes and counting. We're getting the initiative here. Wow, I'm starting to like this. C5. Start playing the Pirts more often. But to be honest, like, my first opening ever was the Pirts. This is sort of forced. I didn't expect that. Was hanging on d5. Time issues against Houdini now. Truly playing like Garrick. Wow, fixing my pawn structure here at the cost of blocking my bishop. It's probably better to take with the bishop. The bishop's so strong on d4. I'm going to offer a draw, and I feel fortunate to have one because I was probably worse in this game against Ananas. Ananas, I didn't make a move, huh? I should make a move, technically. D6. Franco, I never had such good position against him before. Oh man, he went with f4. Wow, I can't say I was prepared for that. Holy crap. f4. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to get creative. I can't do that. Oh man. b6. Wow, this is gonna be an epic game. Alright. Absolutely epic. This is not really epic. Sort of mundane. Tactics anywhere. Afraid I have to play knight c7 here. It's pretty disappointing. Man, where's my time? And how come nobody else uses any time? Just me. And we're like much better here, but how do you make progress? I see. All right. I'm not sure. Yeah, this has got to be a win. Knight c7 first. I better grab this pawn. Oh my god, I almost dropped a piece. That's also not good. You guys are moving too fast. Take your time. You don't have to try to flag me. You know, there's more to chess than playing for time. Man. Maybe I should grab his bishop, his bad bishop here. Oddly enough. This is going to get really... You see, like, Aura Knight has 35 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. Taking your time. Knight takes. I can take with the pawn first. Wasting too much time again. Everyone like insta moves. We don't have much there. We don't have a whole lot here. We have a tiny advantage there. Knight g4. I don't know what's going on here. It's going to take my rook. That's okay. We got more where that came from. Rook b4, okay. b3. Threatening bishop a3. That's the idea. Sort of. Whatever that does. Internet chess. Scaring the living hell out of me. All right. Everybody, just play blitz. It's cool. Just move instantly every move. That's the point. Alright. Wow, there goes the king side. Richie just sacked a pawn. I don't know what he's got for this pawn. Holy shit. I didn't even consider king e2. Like, that's okay. Pretty risky idea, I guess. Why not? Knight f2. Everyone just moving instantaneously every move. That's cool. That's what I'm aiming for. Take me out on the clock. We kind of got distracted distracted there in that one. Move 11, the only player using his time. It appears. Maybe bishop c4 would have been better there. I'm just going to leave that alone on the queen side, and we'll start to look for king side ideas. Well, did I just resign or something? Practically. Internet chess is playing like genialishly. Rook d e1. Okay, I have no idea what's going on. Queen e7, is my queen trapped? No. Okay. This looks good, but I don't think I'm necessarily winning. No time to even drink my drinks here. Man, internet chess is really playing positionally today. Black resigned there. I think he blundered. It looks like Richie's in trouble in this position, but he's getting the pawn back if I'm not... Thought he was in trouble, but now he's got that move. It's really irritating. Damn. There's nothing I can do about it. Damn, I have to just let him have it back. That pretty much sucks. That's about all I can say on that front. That really pretty much sucks. Wow, b4. Nothing's good. Wow. b4, I can't play b3. Damn, dude. I'm scared of this guy, this new opponent, playing like Kasparov in the Tartakover Queen's Gambit. I'm scared. He is pinned, though. There's nothing I can do against him. Houdini 90 from Mexico. Relatively brand new account, but I let him in because of the 50 game rule. I don't really like my game anymore. Whatever. Alright, here I was thinking something c5. He'll play c5. Oh, that sucks. Alright, maybe bishop f2. I need a square for my knight. everybody just move. I thought this was unnecessary capture by Deep Wolverine. Finally, out of the clear. We're in the clear against Andrea. Black kind of hanging on here. Oh, this is entering the Twilight Zone now. Wow. Ooh. What is going on? All right. We just don't have anything there. Andrea Peroni keeps some kind of sort of annoying threats alive here. Blue Crow trapping my queen in mid-board. Basically. Wouldn't be the first time in recent history if my queen got trapped mid-board. It was square on d2. It's good to know. I can take on d4. But that's, you know, falling into the trap. Because I have to play this grotesque move. Rook e3. That's pretty weird. Position is getting more and more bizarre. Speaking of bizarre positions, knight g4. We still have 5 minutes. I have to make instantaneous moves on all boards. Yeah, everybody has like 25 minutes left. It's just torturing me with the clock. You know, I mean, 37 minutes left, and what's the point? Instead of trying to play the best moves, you just want to try to win on time in a free online simul. Alright, rook c4. Anto Johnson. I just hung a pawn. Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, great. Super. More material just dropped for free. Excellent. Excellent, Smithers. Yes. Oh, queen a6. Yeah, man, you're going to just work me over here. From slightly slightly worse to winning on time. All right, whatever. Try to keep it. That's a bad move, actually. All right. I don't know what to do here. World loser killing me again. The last 3 games. I'm not really sure where to go here. Oh, rook d1. That's a surprise. Right. We have to be fine there against that opponent. Gonna checkmate me now, I see. Interesting game this was. I don't know if I should even trade queens in that game, to be honest. I just have to play blitz. Guys, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube, for more information on the maneuver F3 in that kind of structure. What is going on here? Internet chess. We're in desperate time pressure as always. Internet chess playing like a positional god. He's 1800. Alright, I gotta do something. Rook d4, best move. Self-made, is that it? Nice. What is going on here? The king in the center. 235 left. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Richie, what's up? Super Sebi. And offer a draw. It is a draw. Is this an intentional sacrifice? Don't just try to flag me, okay? Peoples. Get that feeling sometimes. It's not enough to play for time. Oh, there it comes. Alright, now it's time for c5. But I need more protection, don't I? Yeah, you want to do that. Okay. Never mind. Trading La Damas. Maybe I shouldn't rush. Maybe I should rush. Internet chess, I don't know what I'm doing there, but I hope it's safe. Bishop g4, anyone? Wow, this is just so bizarre. Maybe I should just take on d4. Looks sort of crazy. Maybe not. Let's not and say we did. All right, f6. That can't possibly work. What just happened? Oh, bishop takes f4. Okay. Here. Aura Knight. Don't know. We've played a few games. How strong he is objectively. F5 maybe. It's not my favorite move. Maybe we should do it though. Okay, now it's not so scary, this f5 anymore, as it was at one time. His rook's still trapped. It's quite an exchange sacrifice, Anto Johnson. Yes. Tough guy living up to his name. I'm definitely scared of Houdini. He seems rock solid. Soul to Ego. 20 minutes left. My God. Speaking of God, World Losers playing like one lately. Getting very low on time. What happened? You're gonna let me come into D3? Blue Crow. I just feel like this is impossible. Should be a draw objectively. Everyone's so good. Just 1 minute left. What am I gonna do? I mean, better here, but got no time. Bishop G5. Okay. like a machine. World loser. I don't have to rush with that move, I guess. Safer to play knight d7. Internet chess, very impressive. You've gotten lucky against Ali. G5, wow. What's been really irritating about this opponent is the fact that he never trades pieces. Speaking of not trading pieces, so fast. This guy hasn't moved in 100 moves, which is very strange. All right, 100 minutes, no moves. Right. It's just hanging. Because I have to play bishop d1. So no draw. You're going to play for a win in this position. I understand. Okay. Yeah, that's a very better position for white. All right. All right. Obviously, you know, the important thing is that you win on time. But thank you for that. That's cool. All right. Now, maybe b5. f6. Getting random. Bishop f5. Yeah, he's really grinding me. The bishop d4 there, Ara knight. Let's see. Yeah, this guy, it's like the worst position ever. I have no idea how to beat him, though. It's not that bad, I guess. It's a draw. Man, World Loser is just too good. It's like no chance against him. This is actually queen check. I didn't see that. All right, Internet Chess playing a great game. This is Slide Dog. I think I was really aware of that till this moment. Yeah, this is like what's going on here. What happened? Right? Yeah, this is nothing. seems like every single game is losing on time. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here. Arsenal fan Richie blundered. Alright, that's good. Somebody blundered something. A world loser is just ripping me apart. What else is new? H4, you had that. That's good. I was really paying attention. I just let him go H4. That's really great. Alright. Oh, that's hanging. Oh my god. What is going on? I'm losing on time every single game? Thank you for the draw for Ayeste. Thank you for not playing just for time. Oh, this is hopeless. I have no chance against world loser. This is hopeless too. I just was spacing out there on time. But I never had anything like this kind of time pressure from everyone, like across the board. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I have to give myself like an extra hour or something. I mean, to take away this possibility that basically everyone just plays for time every single game. It's really atrocious. But like declining a draw here where you're worse is kind of weird. That's sort of the best example, I think. I would be so happy for a draw there if I was white in that position. Anyway, I'll just lose on time. At least the time is like working correctly here. Thank you to the people who did offer draw in equal positions instead of playing for a win in an equal position, or worse. Hey, this is probably a draw. I should offer a draw in that one. This is an amazing game. Okay, now white is, I mean, black is going too far here. I mean, this looks crazy what he's doing. All right. I'm actually better there. Let's offer a draw here. I'd have to offer draws just to not lose on time. This is probably enough activity. Alright, Blue Crow. I don't know. You're better. You're better, Blue Crow. Now, Richie lost an exchange, but it's very hard to break through. Knight c5. Ah, you got that on me somehow. Should be enough to win. Constant change. Tricky plan I didn't see in time pressure. It's probably good enough. I'll just resign. Too much time pressure. Anto Johnson exchange sacrifice like a GM, basically. I'll just offer a draw here. Probably decline. Like 0 winning chances for white. This was a horrific game. I just blundered. Probably get mated very shortly. Oh, I think I blundered finally. A big one. Thank you X623 for actually using your time. Unlike most players. Alright, this is better for me. Am I getting mated here? Probably. No, you declined my draw. That's awesome, dude. That's really awesome. Thank you. You're really, your winning chances are superb there. It's like the most drawn obstacle bishop endgame in the world. So we'll just lose on time in most games. I never had this bad time pressure, I don't think. Oh. What's going on here? G5. Alright, dude. That's funny. Yeah. This is over. I'm just going to resign against this guy. I mean, I just hung H4 in a good position. I don't think I can hold this. I mean, maybe there's a small chance, but I don't think so. This is just strategically lost for white. I'm not sure about that one. Here I just blundered again. That's what I said was a horrific blunder. Just loses everything like with one move. It's ridiculous. White, black blundered here. King H7. It's good to know I'm not the only one. Aura Knight. This is just a waste of time, this position. Knight B5, that's a pretty tricky move. Blue Crow, we have 2 opponents who blundered. Okay, this is really... I already offered a draw. I'm not sure, you know, he didn't notice or... But, you know, this is obviously impossible for both sides to win. Should know that. It's hard to play 20 plus games simultaneously. So I appreciate a little bit of help sometimes. If you can resign hopeless positions and accept draws in equitable ones. It's kind of good sportsmanship. Yeah, this is a draw, dude. I mean, even with your passed pawn. Thank you. All right, here we got a little bit lucky there in that one. I offered a draw earlier against Ara Knight, but he wasn't interested. I think we stand better here, but it's not that much better. It's close to equal. Bishop f4, I missed. Yikes. But I'm up a piece, right? I'm up a rook, so it shouldn't matter that much. All right. Well, this is a really long game against Richie, and Plucro dropped a piece in a winning position. Well, not a winning position, but he was a clear pawn up. That's pretty good chances, I would say. And here we are up the exchange. I lost 3 or 4 very quickly there, mostly because of blunders. Though World Loser had me crushed pretty much the whole game, right out of the opening. That's the one that was really terminal. It looked, guy was losing all the way. But you know, I don't know how much counterplay he has here. 95 check, I could try that. And maybe it's a little bit cleaner. Trading some pieces. I hope I don't get mated on the H file on that one. In that one. Richie trying to get some counterplay. The game marred by just a simple fork he overlooked on b6. Okay, Plucro. I wouldn't criticize him for playing this out. You know, he's got 2 pawns for a piece, and I don't think you have to resign. Hopeless positions where you're down like rooks and, you know, then you should probably give it up. But even in tournament games, I mean, there was a game the other day, like in one of these elite tournaments where someone just doesn't resign. It's bad etiquette, you know, and a lot of the younger grandmasters don't even know that. You know, it's kind of scary that a player who's a grandmaster doesn't know it's bad etiquette not to resign. Man, I'd like to play a good move here, but I don't know what it is. Check, rook c2, a6, maybe a6. a6 is horrible, actually. To play bishop f4. All right. 2 connected passed pawns. Let's go for it. We have a manageable amount of games now. I don't know. I think the people are just too used to playing bullet chess. It's almost like a sort of sickness, you know. It's not only that, it's not necessarily that they're being unsporting. I think they just don't know how to like take more than 20 seconds on a move, period, ever. You know, it's kind of a problem with online chess, and the increasing time controls, increasing things like adding hyper bullet, you know, isn't helping the issue. You know, I mean, I think that people, they just don't know how to spend more than 30 seconds on a move. In many cases, it's that simple. Rook a1, I'd like to play, but he's got f4 tricks in this position. It's a little bit difficult how to open this up, and now I'm starting to take some time. What's interesting is the games we lost were King's Indian type positions, where our king came under. The king came under attack, like against World Loser, and the other game against Tougher Guy. You know, because if you make a mistake in those kind of positions, you're just done. Whereas if it's a queenside attack or something, it's not fatal. But I think that getting in time pressure in those kind of positions where it's a kingside attack type situation, that seems to be fatal. I had a great position against Tougher Guy. Like I would win 100% of the time, probably in a slow game. This is basic. I mean, this feels like practically blitz to me, by the way. I don't know what we're going to do here. Oh, we're going to lose on time again. All right, I don't know what's going on. Plucro is trying to take my stuff away. Rook on D. I'm in time pressure again. Nice. Started talking as if I had a lot of time, but we're not on that much time here. Right. Close endings. Knight A4. Is that even a good move? Are you even a good move? Knight D3. I honestly don't know. Our knight has 30 minutes left. Richie, I don't like that exchange on E4. I think you're simplifying the structure there. You don't need to do that in this spot. And X6 blundered. So now the ending. To be careful here. Our knight will probably win because of the time pressure, but objectively, I mean, he was never ever better in that game at all. Like, he's just worse. Okay, here black dropped a piece, but he found a trick. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's nasty. I don't know if I can win a pawn up here against Houdini. The other possibility is rook f1, which actually deserves consideration. All right, Blue Crow. You can't play knight f4. I just realized he doesn't have that. Queen e2. Oh my god. Oh, he's got knight d3. Richie has counterplay here, and this just exchange down for nothing position. Wow. Not easy to win any game. Not easy. I mean, the average strength of my opponents has to be pretty high. Bishop there. Really, really nice move. I'm 2 pawns up here. Wow. I guess I have to play a4. Oh, it's going to be some kind of thing where I have to give back the exchange or something. Probably. Bishop d8. Blue Crow is getting low on time. Yeah, that's an idea, but I thought you had g3, or I had some hallucination you had g3. Probably this is okay for me. Unless I get mated, then it was a bad idea. Oh, I see you have more tricks. Mostly bullet. Right, that's quite a resource. Richie really fighting like a dog to save this. I would imagine I would be winning with perfect play, but practically speaking, it's hard to break through. Tomorrow I'm going to play classical chess. I'm going to change the time control. The last Mondays I've been doing 15 plus 2. And now, ironically, after saying that it's bad to play too fast chess and play, I'm going to go back from 15 plus 2 to something like 8 plus 3. We're going to play only 8 plus 3 tomorrow. Because I think the 15 plus 2 games just take up too much time of the stream. So we're going to compromise with the 8 plus 3 time control tomorrow. Alright, Plucro, it was a good try today. And now, I'm like totally... Houdini really is Houdini. Richie, I don't know if you should exchange rooks or not there in that position. Maybe you got something worked out. Man. Maybe he's got something. Not that, though. Queen d3. I thought c4. c4, queen e2. Can I get self-mated, maybe? But queen d3 is terrible. I think you had real chances, but queen d3 is moving too quickly. Now it's an easy win. The rooks being on the board really kind of helped you there. Ooh, this is kind of awkward. I thought we'll just get the rook on the 7th against Richie. And, guys, it's 3 hours. No, 2.5 hours I've been playing. It usually lasts about 3 hours. We're usually done about 9:30. I had a 75 move game today. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm having such a hard time. But in the morning, the time control here isn't easy for me. I think we're going to win something. I forgot Antu Johnson. Antu Johnson is still here. He's taking me out with this insane variation. It's just like, yeah, right. I'll just resign that. That's hopeless. I don't know why I even played that far. Pretty brutalish Grandmaster strength effort there by Anto Johnson. Opening wasn't great, but then he played like a god. This could be a little bit difficult to win, but I believe that Black should be winning somehow. It's not really appealing to play someone called Houdini. Wait a minute here now. I do have knight c6. Maybe I can prepare it. Okay, rook a1. There could be some chances there. I guess we have to go with this. Probably going to lose that game too. I think this will be the record number of games I lost in one simul probably today. 7 or something. Probably 7. That's pretty heavy. Pretty good play. Some really, really strong play. And this is actually getting to be pretty tough. Put the bishop on a3. And the ultra subtle king d5. Ooh, that's kind of weird. All right. I guess I play b5. Once I drew an endgame against Daniel Gormally with something like that, knight and 2 pawns, he wasn't too happy about it. But I would imagine that kind of thing could happen there, in that game. How about a check? Check is very inconvenient for black here. Blue Crow, what are you trying to do over there? Just hang out. Alright. Is my bishop trapped? Let me know my bishop's trapped. I wish you could see like a running score of your simul result. I don't think I want to know. The time control is the same time control every week, Sideshow Bob. So it's not only a reflection of how strong my opponents are, but it's a reflection of what kind of condition I'm in. You know, and today was the longest tournament game I've played in the last year and a half. So maybe that had something to do with it. But again, I'm not trying to make excuses here. King g2. He doesn't have a good square for his king. You gotta check, you're gonna get my c2 pawn. But I can afford to give that one up, I guess. On the other hand, it's not absolutely essential that I give you that. Maybe I play rook b7, defend the pawn. I mean, you could play king d3 as well. Alright, Blue Crow, making my life difficult here. I should really check him from the side, I guess. I don't need to blockade directly. I'll try to make some progress, get my king in the position. 6 wins, 7 losses, 5 draws. That's never happened before. I mean, where the losses like equal the draws. I mean, losses equal the wins. That's pretty extreme. Made some progress here. I think we're winning. He's still got those stupid tricks with bishop e5, but let's see. What Budapest time are you going to play 5+3? We're not playing 5+3. Tomorrow I'm playing 8+3. You know, it's going to be tomorrow is a slower time control stream. Now if I could trade rooks, that'd probably be a good place to start here. Maybe we will go back with bishop blockading. And now f4. Oh no, Daniel Gormally. f4 takes g4. 94 check, king f5. f4 takes g4, king e4, g3. f4 take. But he hesitated here, you know. He hesitated. I thought I was like losing, but suddenly feels like there's some hope. f4 takes g4. King e4. g3. King e3. g2. That doesn't really work, man. I mean, he's just g4, king e3. He's trapping my knight or something. If I remove my knight, I could also play g4 first. Kind of makes some sense. He has a little time advantage. Just a small one. Actually, maybe I should play f4. Yeah. Alright, never mind. White resigned? Did it just say I resigned? Did I lose on time? I thought it just said white resigned in one of the games. Richie, what happened? Did I just lose on time? I should have had plenty of time against Richie. Did Richie resign? Or did I lose on time? It looked like 1-0. Okay. I guess he lost on time or resigned. Okay, 1-0. Richie resigned. I sort of caught it on the last moment. Wow, really brutal today. I got crushed in a couple of games. Well, really just against world loser. King's India went kind of south. That's the only game I got crushed. But there was other weird games that I lost. Very good positions. Like against that last game. Ando is just his position was worse out of the opening. Blue Crow. This game against Ara Knight. I want to stay on page. Alright, we could open a second one. Alright guys, it's been a long day. Personal fan Richie. Yeah, you just dropped an exchange. It's very rare for my opponents to make any kind of tactical blunders. In this other game, we won. Actually, what happened to that other game, by the way? He resigned? We just had another ending that the guy resigned. We must have like 8 wins, 5 losses, and 7 draws. One of my worst results in quite some time. I think we're making progress here, though. And trading should be a win. Trading, we have the right color rook pawn with the bishop. That's very important. This queening square is the same color as my dark squared bishop. If the rooks get traded and I have just one pawn left, I can win with the rook pawn. Shogi champion Yoshihari Habu didn't know that, I think. Even though he was like, well, he knew that, but it was something like rook and bishop versus rook and bishop and rook pawn versus rook, and he couldn't win. So he didn't know about that idea. Wait a second here. First I check, drive you back, and then we'll try to make progress. Alright, now rook f4. We got to get everybody coordinated. All the pieces have to be coordinated. King c5, rook b4, probably bishop e5 check, guarding the b7 pawn. I didn't see what happened in my game against Soltigo. Did I lose on time or something? He had like 25 minutes left. The other game is more interesting, but Aura Knight has like 20 minutes left because he didn't think during the game much. In a very, very boring position. He was like declining a draw and then trying to like wait for me to run out of time or something. Now he's got a better knight endgame. Maybe a draw though. Actually, Blue Crow. Stopping bishop e5? Don't do what Blue Crow is going to do. Don't offer a draw in a lost position. That makes the monster angry. I think he's just kidding. I live for positions like this, Blue Crow. Just to torture people for like 100 moves in a technical ending. Today I had to draw with like rook and knight against rook, bishop, rook, knight and pawn against rook, bishop and 2 pawns. And my opponent tortured me. So now it's my turn to torture someone else. Yeah. But you don't have to resign. You should play it out. It's actually instructive. I wouldn't resign here. I don't think anybody should resign. It's not that easy. Unless you're playing Gata Kamsky. Pawn is enough. Kamsky doesn't like wild and incredibly complicated positions, but if you're just down a pawn in a standard position, you can just give it up. That's what I did. Never ever lost any sleep about it. Normally I would never resign against anybody like being down 1 pawn. Blue Crow, you gotta play it out, man. I require you to play this out. What else are we gonna do while we're waiting for Aura Knight to make moves? I demand you play it out. Well, when people offer draws in lost positions, I promote all my knights. Force a self-mate. Yeah, I mean, we've all done that when we were angry with our opponents, like under promoting and stuff. It's kind of this, but it's justified. Definitely justified against ignorant opponents who don't know any better, or people who do know better and do it anyway. Alright, so here we are. We've got the... Well, we can simply take that pawn too, but I thought this is even more solid. Aura Knight, what's Aura Knight doing? We're going to be here till tomorrow. Maybe he left the board. It's got to be Aura Knight's move. Guys, tomorrow I'm going to be playing classical chess. Mindful Monday, we call it. We're just playing classical A+3. I've sped up the time control from 15+2 to A+3 because the 15+2 was kind of dragging. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. CET, all A+3 games with commentary and analysis here on lichess and Twitch. I like the 15+2, but it's just not enough games for everyone to get to play, and this is the accurate move, driving his king back to the nether regions. And now we can safely take this nugget when we are a clear piece up. With 2 pawns on the board, it should be pretty easy. But I don't know what's going on with Aura Knight. Can click over there. Yes, leave page. We're going to take a chance, leave page. He's down to 14 minutes. Understandable. This is a guy who, he takes his time when he needs it. Not when he doesn't think he needs it, though. He moves fast. Plucro. It's going to require me now. I'd rather not trade pawns straight up and try to make progress. I'd like to try to make progress without trading pawns. Is that realistic? Is that realistic for me to try to do that? I wonder. We've got time. You know, we've got time here. We can play king back, and rook over and try to make progress. Bringing the king back and sliding the rook back over. Guarding the b-pawn with the king and then trying to make... I mean, it's very possible I'm going to have to play b5 at some point. I'm getting that feeling. I might not be able to win without playing b5, but maybe. We can play like king back, rook g4, threaten to get him in a kind of mating net with a rook and bishop and king. But our knight has an incredible amount of time left. Alright, so the original plan was to play e4 or g4 here. You know, what I wouldn't mind, like, maybe king, g4, knight f1. He can't play that. g4, knight e4, check, king f5 looks okay for me. But I'm a little concerned about g4, king e4. Or even g4, king, yeah, g4, king d4. With the idea being, like, king f5, king d3, king e3. So his king goes back to like e3 and he sort of stops the pawn, threatens to play king f2 when the pawn gets to g2. It looks really problematic and hard for me to control the queen square at g1. So I started to think that maybe the best bet here would be to go just recapture. Now obviously he can play king e4, but then I have king g5, and I think I'm okay. Now I gotta bring the king back, or that's the safest move. And I wish we had more technical endings. There's nothing like technical endings when you actually have some time. Today I almost lost my tournament game. FIDE has given us this wonderful time control with the wonderful time control featuring 30 moves, 30 minutes for every end game, basically. It's hard to play a good end game in 30 minutes. And I think we are going to have to play b5, it looks like, at some point. Yeah, I think this is equivalent to a draw offer. I hope. I mean, I would think we're going to draw this now. We can probably just play f3 and then run back. But there is the possibility of king g4, a4. I think we need to get the king back. King f6, a4, king e6, a5, king d7. There is a small problem with my king getting trapped. My king. My knight, that is, my other king. But actually, that's not true, because like king f6, king takes f4, king e6, knight d2. Ooh, that looks bad. That looks bad. That looks like Death Village. Okay, so let's try to calculate a different way here. Yeah, we don't have to give him the pawn, and we play like knight g4, and we bring the knight, we stop the pawn with the knight. Knight g4, a4, knight f6 check, king back, knight d5, and something like knight c7. Looks like a good idea. Yeah, so I think we have to play b5. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be able to control c4. And one pawn should be enough to win this. Otherwise, I'm going to have a hard time forcing him back with that king coming up to c4 all the time. I was very fortunate not to lose this game. I think Ara Knight might have not been winning, but he was really, really close to winning. And now, well, if I trade rooks, that's a win too. But if we check, we force him back, which is good. I'm glad that Plucro didn't resign, because I think for a lot of amateur players, this endgame doesn't win itself. You know, I mean, it's not that easy with such limited material on the board. It's kind of instructive if you're a beginner to see someone win this position. That's why I won't let Plucro resign here. You know, it's not that simple. Last games, but things are clearing up. Against Ara Knight, it's definitely a draw. But I was mad that he wouldn't accept a draw earlier when it was 35 minutes for him and 1 minute for me, in like an equal position. It's all right. Now we give up the pawn, I guess, or we blockade. What do you want to do? It doesn't matter at this point. Give up the pawn and go get the A pawn. Or just blockade it. I mean, white can never win here. You would lose on time. I would lose on time if I, you know, because there is mating material left, but objectively should never win. So now he's tied down to b3. I could even play b4 at some point later on. But I'd rather wait and get my forces together here, operating together, a little closer together. Normally you want the rook, you want your rook to be away, far away, you know. This is a draw, all right. Let's take the knight. I'll blockade the pawn. No. I'm not going to blockade the pawn. All right, thank you for the game, Ara Knight. Last game, it's Plucro. Our moderator survived to the end. Here he has King D2. That's kind of irritating. So how you see how it's not that easy? I probably have to play B4. But even then, I'll check on C3 right. I have to play like B4. I don't know, this could be a mistake for me, but I doubt it. I don't like putting the pawn on a dark square. Really. But it's probably overwhelming now. Last man standing, Plucro. See what you did by not resigning? Tomorrow, 10 a.m. CET. I promise to have my hair in order. It was really a tough day. We got pummeled here in the simul. We got pummeled by our opponent, who probably should have beaten me in an ending in our Budapest team championship. But talented young guy, 21 years old. Uroš Andras. He's about 2350 and pushing 2400 for sure. He played really well. Not perfectly in the ending though. Again, FIDE time controls, 40 moves in 2 hours, 40 moves in 90 minutes isn't bad, but to have to play basically end games with just 30 minutes per side with increment, it's really not enough. So now, rook c3 check. And then I'll have to play like bishop c5, bishop d4 or something. I want to play bishop e5, but then he has king d2. See, that's the problem. Let's check him first. I wonder if I can go rook d3 and then rook d5 to take control of some new territory. Yeah, I like this move. Beware of like stalemate ideas, I guess. Okay, this is starting to bother me a little bit. Don't let there be any sort of insane draw here, right? In the corner. Not with the B pawn. Well, Arsenal fan Richie, I think you were doing pretty good when you got in. You got in b5. You took out my b5 pawn. You just made one move. You made a one move blunder. I didn't like the opening, but then you found a way to get out of most of your difficulties. So it wasn't a total disaster. I certainly make a lot of one move blunders here. So I wanted to check on the c5 now, cut him off. Or force him in the corner, basically. I'm a little concerned that I locked this pawn on b4. I don't know if I like that. There could be some kind of weird stalemate type of stuff. Probably not. The white square is so weak. Now notice how I'm keeping all the guys together in like a unit. They're working together. We'd set up mating nets here. Stalemate is still a possibility in some kind of weird positions. Like if his king was on b1, my king was on d3, and my rook is on a5, my bishop's on e5, he could have like give away the rook type of stalemates, which is not a joke. But I guess we've got 7 draws and 5 losses, man. It was a rough simul today. That's brutal. But I can't afford to play longer after this epic 5.5 hour tournament game today. There was a time in my youth when I actually played 2 7-hour games in the same day at the World Open or Philadelphia International. 2 back-to-back 7-hour games with 5 minutes in between. Against Walter Brown and Vivek Rao. I remember that. I lost both. It's kind of hard not to lose the second one after losing 120 move, like ending to Walter Brown. After that, you're kind of like, well, why even bother playing the next game? But 5.5 hours feels long, but it's not really. Not really. Once you've played 7-hour games, 7.5-hour games, they used to have adjournments. I remember in the U.S. Open, they had adjournments as late as like the early 90s, mid-90s. Should put more pressure along the A file when I had the chance. You should have. Pushing F5 would basically retaliation for maybe playing bishop H6. But I didn't like that you exchanged on E4, Richie. You released the tension there prematurely. Now I think we have an easy win here with bishop E5 check and rook C3 trading trading rooks. We have to be accurate. If king a2, rook c2 check, and then he moves the king to b1, and then I go rook c3, his pawn is unprotected. He must exchange, takes, yeah. So here, there could be other ways to win this. There probably are. But I think this is this is the most straightforward. Because I have like unlimited waiting moves. You know, so trading rooks is probably pawn takes is the cleaner way to win. I just bring the king to b4 and then have unlimited waiting moves with my bishop. Win his b pawn and then promote. Blue Crow, it's been a while. You have been you've been unsuccessful lately, unlike most of my opponents. Anto Johnson, what do you think of my game? I think, Anto Johnson, that you played... I think you accidentally lost the exchange, but you luckily like had a lot of compensation for it. And I didn't have enough time to play correctly. Alright. Anto Johnson, I think your game was pretty good. It was lucky that you didn't lose an exchange and I couldn't really convert. I mean, you did lose the exchange, but I couldn't really convert. 9 wins, 8 draws, and 5 losses. Thank you to the guys who gave me draws and tie pressure. Constant change, I was fine, but I lost because of time. Aldista, I was fine, and I lost because of time. We were lucky against Ali, kind of. World Loser, I was basically crushed out of the opening. That was pretty legit. Aura Knight was better. A tougher guy, I had a good game, but I just like didn't pay attention, let him play h4 in a pretty good position. What's the other games I lost? Is that it? Oh, Anto Johnson. Well, I resigned kind of prematurely against Anto Johnson, but objectively, maybe I'm not even losing in the final position, but it looks really unpleasant, and I was running out of time. I might not be losing in the final position. You want to like look at that. Just yeah, I resigned in an okay position, but I was just tired of suffering here. It felt unpleasant, and I was running out of time. That was actually not a bad game. So that was just me getting impatient. What else? I don't know. I thought I lost another game. How many losses is that? 1, 2. I'm missing something here. 3, 4. Where's the other game I lost? Anto Johnson is 5. Okay, yeah. So mostly time related. Resigning in an equal position against Anto Johnson, and World Loser kind of crushed me. I think he deserves the point the most out of the players I lost to. Anyway, guys, sorry I didn't play better, but it was kind of a long day. So according to the database, you actually had a better position than Anto +3 when I resigned. I know, but I mean, I know that's... It would have just been torturous, and I was like about to flag and stuff. I just felt like really sick of that position. It was an emotional resignation. I was just kind of pissed off. But anyway, mostly good games, and you guys played pretty good. I wish I wasn't in such bad time pressure all the time, but I just don't want it to last. 3 hours is pretty long. Maybe I should give you guys less time and more time to me. But I don't like, to do that, like where it's like exaggerated in my favor. Like some people make simuls like that, and I think it's kind of silly, so I think I just need to play better. That's basically the gist of it. All right, guys. So tomorrow, Monday, 10 a.m. CET, we're going to be playing 8+3 classical chess. If you want to join us, it's 10 a.m. Central European time, and we'll see you guys then. Thank you, Blue Crow, for moderating. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. And we'll be back. And again, if anybody's made donations via PayPal or supported the stream, I really appreciate it. And thank you guys who have. And if you haven't, please feel free to do so. A small donation once or twice a year it goes a long way to help me keep the stream going and keep the YouTube channel going. So keep it up to date and keep it going. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, and bye-bye.